Muted. Thank you, Greenfinger. Appreciate that. Welcome. Hey, sorry, it's been a while. I haven't done this in very long. You know, I'm a very professional Twitch streamer now, so clearly I never make mistakes. Dude, the guild stuff, my God, the XP grind, that will be... We'll definitely get into it, man. We'll definitely get into it. There is so much from this patch. I'm not gonna go through the... Wait, am I still muted? Can you guys not hear me? Hold on. Mic check. 1, 2. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Okay. If we go here, I mean, I know everybody's been probably checking out the new patch notes. They're, again, like we all knew this we received these patch notes earlier this week. It was utterly massive. I was curious to see if there were going to be any more changes to it. It doesn't look like there was some more, very minimally, but for the most part, I mean, it's still the same. I would say they added maybe like 2% more than the original notes. But dang it, Flash, you're a pro streamer. You got to be locked in. You're good now. Okay, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Now, clearly, you know, I'm not going to talk about, you know, every single, like I'm sure y'all have. Now, this is a very interesting one. Over 420 treasure map locations have been added to Sandsquall Desert. Now, your boy actually was testing a lot of the treasure maps. I did about 20 treasure maps in the desert. At the time of testing, only 2 of them worked. So I don't have any treasure maps right now, like for live, but I'm really scared about treasure map locations in the Sandsquall Desert. But they did say fixed many treasure mounds locations that were spawning underground. So I don't know. I hope it's all fixed, you know, but it was rough when I was doing them. So I left every bug report that I could, you know, with the location and timestamp with it and everything like that. And man, honestly, I was really excited for the class changes. These bard changes, I think, are really good. Cleric, I don't know if this is particularly bad or good. I don't know. I think Shatter was definitely necessary, 100%. And that goes along with the changes they did previously, which was a little bit almost like a slight nerf, but I mean, I think it was more of a neutralization for certain things. But Shatter was their big deal damage right there. And I knew it was coming. Bard survivability is down the drain, in my opinion. Dude, so this is the thing that happens, and this is why I would have rather them made those changes sooner, because bards have felt godlike for too long, and now you guys are used to it. Okay, if they would have nerfed sooner, you would have been used to these kinds of changes, because the way bard felt was not supposed to be that powerful. Let's just be honest. So of course, if you're a bard player, you're gonna be like, God, I feel terrible. Well, yeah, if you're coming from godlike creation to mere mortal, of course that's gonna feel terrible. You know what I mean? You were at godlike proportion. You know, it's like you were. I mean, it's like you're Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and now you're just Thanos. Wow. The Crimea River, dude. Like, it's just, let me see, or am I bad and just dying too much? Well, again, a lot of these changes, you know, they're going to be felt. You're going to take note to them, right? It's kind of like with Fighter. Fighter felt really good, but no one was saying, oh my God, you see how overpowered Fighter is? Like, no one was saying that. But I think we do really good damage. We lack in other departments. And again, if you've watched me for, I mean, Rockta, you've seen my streams. You know how I am. Like I've always said, we need to feel weak. I, as a fighter, you know, if it's in the area of PvP, right, where I don't do as well in large scale battle, like I'm able to accept that weakness and work my way around it. I think a lot of times when you look at patch notes, you look at content creators, right? We're constantly trying to, any weakness, to just buff it out or to remove the weakness entirely. And I think that's bad. again, if you look at the old toolkits, if you look at the old MMO design, it always sucks to have a weakness, for sure, right? Hey, I don't have as many CCs as this class. Give me as many CCs as them. But what if you're not supposed to? If this is truly going to be a group-based design, you can't think individually. You can't think, what can I benefit individually to gain in this particular moment? I think even as a developer, I'm pretty sure they're aware that there's some things you'll never gain as your class. And I think we kind of have to be okay with that, right? This isn't going to be a WoW clone where we're going to be homogenized to hell and back. We're going to have every single thing that we need for each individual class. And, we're just going to run into the same issues that World of Warcraft has, a lot of these MMOs have, where you're given everything and now you have no individuality. Now we're just basically like buffing and nerfing because everybody else has those things. I personally don't want that gameplay. Not again. Vlad, fighter is broken, bro. Well, and again, like I don't really know how. I got to talk to Rory, or maybe I got to talk to him again. Maybe bring him on, ask him about these tank changes. Or maybe I'll ask Nice. I'll see if Nice isn't busy. I mean, Nice has been playing tank for a long time. I'll see if what he thinks, if this is an overall buff to the tanks, or is it like almost a rebalancing? So it's not technically a nerf. It's just kind of restructuring things here and there to make certain abilities better. Some are worse, but maybe it's a draw at the end of the day. I don't know. But I will say this, playing the fighter in the PTR, Wallop is really good now. I mean, it's not the best thing, but it sucked before. It really did. You're literally using momentum to spend, and it hit like a wet noodle. The move is called Wallop. I personally think that this particular, if I were to change Wallop, I would make it to where it's more of an execution, but that's me, right? I would love kind of like an execute. And I think Wallop would serve like a really nice purpose in that. But I think right now, for it being that it trips staggered targets, that also feels really good too. So I'm not really complaining. I think Wallop is actually in a really, really good state. I don't think Nice likes you. Why would you say that? I mean, I hope I like him, but I mean, if he doesn't like me, like, I can't control that. I'm pretty sure he does. Like I said, we're in the content creator Discord, and he may disagree with me, but he watches a lot of my content, so I would doubt that he doesn't like me, but I can't read his mind. But I will say, fighter just feels really good now. I gotta play with it more. I gotta do more PvE stuff with the fighter. I gotta do more PvP stuff with the fighter. But I really do love the changes. I was really hoping for more ranger changes, to be honest, because I'm playing a ranger currently, and I think the ranger really needs some love, man. I really do. Nobody likes pirate gaming, bro. A lot of people love pirate gaming. A lot of people do. I know right now there's a lot of people in the Ashes community and just the gaming community at large that doesn't like him, but it's not like he fell from grace and he's now streaming to 500 people when he was streaming currently at like 20,000, right? So clearly he has an audience. Now, you may not agree with his audience, you may not like his audience, or you may not like him, but that doesn't excuse the fact that there's still a lot of people, like in the millions. Like his shorts, his content still does really, really well. There was a lot of caravan changes, a lot of economy and artisan changes. Now, personally, I want to look at the guild stuff because we've been asking for guild stuff, and I'm really curious because this is something I'm very nervous about, to be honest with you. I have not seen the guild talent tree yet. And, my boy Mag in chat, he was kind of telling me a little bit about how much experience gain it's going to take to even go to level 1. And I don't mind a long... Again, the biggest gripe that I have is that expanding membership is built into the tree. I don't like that. Like I said, and I've been very vocal about this. Lost Ark had that system. It was a shit system. It felt like shit to a lot of players. And again, is there a minority that maybe likes them? Yes, but you are a minority. If I were to do a poll, if I were to ask a whole group of people, the majority of people do not like allocating points to guild to increase your guild size. I personally think that guild size should just be something that you can do day one. If you want to have a 300 person guild, you should be able to day one. If you want to have a 50 person guild, you should be able to, because guess what? The way it currently works now is that you can do that anyway. So what's the point? It would actually be more simple for, like, you know, guild declarations and all that stuff if you wanted to be a 300 person guild instead of breaking it up into 5 50-man guilds, which is what you would currently do anyway. So you're not removing the ability. It's just more annoying to deal with. So why are we having to deal with that annoyance if we don't want to deal with it? What's the pirate drama this time, chat? Oh, bro, it's probably the same crap. But that's my thing. So let me go here real quick. I believe if I go here, and where is it? Guild upgrades. Okay, so here we go. So 5,765,309 experience to hit level 1. Wow. That's going to be insane. And I'm curious how many levels they're going to be. Like, how many levels is there going to be? 50? Are there going to be 50 points? So if we look at it in the sense of points, like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So right now there's 29. So let's just say that, you know, you'll have like a level 30 guild. So let me see, adventuring XP multiplier increased by 5%. That's pretty damn good. So since it starts from the bottom up, so what's the first one? XP debt multiplier reduced by 15%, guild max size increased by 10. So this is the thing I'm talking about. Why is this built in? I think this is bad, because you're circumventing the system anyway. And if you look at it in the sense of, oh, well, Vlad, if there's 300 people, then they're going to be able to build guild experience faster. So if you as a guild leader set out to only have 100 people and that's all you wanted, who cares? Like, I to start balancing in these super niche situations in that way is stupid to me. If the max guild size is 300, which personally I think it should be more, but let's just, you want to leave it at 300. It doesn't matter, because right now in the game, people already having 5 guilds, 6 guilds, 8 guilds, 10 guilds. You're still circumventing the system. Remove the circumvention entirely and just allow people to have as many guild members as they want. If they want to have the max guild size day one, let them freaking do it. And the solution, in my opinion, is to gray out certain nodes by allocating more people into the guild. So if you have 300 players, this right here would be grayed out. This would be unobtainable for a guild at 300 members. You know, like, you know, I'm just trying to think. See, all these like by 20. Like, you can just start graying out certain things that are vertical progressions. But to me, and again, this is a bare system. Like, I'm literally looking at this for the first time. Resource drop. Is that supposed to say increased? Why does it say reduced? Resource drop reduced by 10%. Oh, wait a minute. I'm confusing. Is this when you die? It's 10% less reduction. So it's instead of 25% reduction, now you have 15% reduced on death. Okay. It needs to say that, to be honest. Who's at our door? One second, chat. Sorry. Yeah, this needs to be changed to say that, because that's very... Oh, it was UPS. Let me see. Max health increased by 5. XP debt multiplier by 15. Max mana. Max regeneration. Health regeneration. Honestly, like, I don't mean to be a negative Nelly, but I am not liking any of these talent points, to be honest with you. That's fine. I am not liking I am not liking the foundational direction of this talent tree at all. That's my initial feeling so far. Because we didn't have access. I mean, I wasn't in a guild in PTR, but I don't think even PTR people had access to this tree. Yeah, the main issue is the cost, in my humble opinion. Have you tried the calculation of glint necessary to level up? No, I haven't even done that yet. I literally just started looking at this tree. Oh, I'm gonna lower the music real quick. Let me see. You can't be nerfing a person's run speed or fight stats just because they are in a big guild. You are not usually a negative melee, so I'm all ears. Well, okay, so you can't be nerfing a person's run speed or fight stats just because they are in a big guild. Well, no. So you can, and I don't know if there is increased run speed here or stats, but this is why I don't like this general direction. I honestly, like, I was like, am I being teleported out? What's going on? Oh wow, I just hard crashed right now. Sorry about that, guys. Let me so here's my thing. If you want and I've said this too about even the weapon talent trees. People usually want more meaningful node allocations instead of fluff ones, right? Not saying the fluff ones, you know, you earn a point here and there, and if you're leveling quickly, right? I think the weapon tree is a good example, because I think putting in those points, there's a couple of really heavy hitter ones, and there's a couple of some fluff ones that, you know, are kind of whatever. But I personally think for guilds, you need to literally have the max guild level be 25, and you need to make a tree based off of certain breakpoints, right? I don't know what those breakpoints are. Clearly, they're going to be breakpoints that Intrepid has a set. But as two different examples, you can have a tree that is sort of set out almost like a spider web, right? And when you're level 50, right? Because the reason why they create these trees is because there's a lot of advantage to numerical numbers, right? And the reasoning why you would want to have these smaller guilds have a little bit more vertical power is because they have to compete with the big guilds that are going to be 300 in size. So how is one guild going to match up to another guild when they're outmatched numerically? This is why vertical progression is going to be for the 50-man guilds more so than the 300-person guilds. Not saying that the 300-person guilds can't have different stat allocations that I think is more horizontal, right? I'm okay with having like an increased artisanship experience, you know, gathering stuff. Like, we can all think of different, you know, points or whatever. Let me see where it is. Upgrades. But, you know, increasing max mana, I think, is fine. I mean, would a person probably consider that vertical? Yeah. But I think these are super basic. And again, this is the same problem I have with this tree too. If you're gonna have now the full vision, from what Steven said, is he wants to have 250 points to allocate from 1 to 50. Now we're not even nowhere near there. We're supposed to have, what is it, 30 to 40 abilities per class, augments, and then passives, right? Which are, the circles. That's going to be a big ass tree, in my opinion. And even if you have like a 0 to 10 point node, that's still a lot of allocation to be set out for a particular class. The more points you have, the more likely that a lot of those points are going to seem very frivolous and just not interesting. The less points you have as a developer, you can start creating more intriguing and more interesting passives, because there's not as many, and you still want if you still want a certain power threshold to be hit, by dividing that threshold by 1,000 compared to dividing it by 100, you're going to have more pieces of the pie at 100 compared to the 1,000, which means you can make more interesting decision making as a player, with sometimes being less is more in that case. And again, even if you think about like Last Epoch, you do have a really, really, really big skill tree. However, you're very limited into where you go, right? And to be honest, even in Path of Exile 2, there's a lot of very frivolous points. You're like, a lot of the points that you're putting in are very, just very small increments, right? And then you're trying to hit these larger nodes, right? These big, pinnacle nodes. And I think for me as an MMO player, I want there to feel like each passive that complements a certain skill, I want those to kind of feel a little bit more transformative than you just increased your damage by 10%. That's just boring. Like it creates no excitement. It creates nothing of interest. It doesn't create any interesting builds in that fashion. You need to create something that actually is meaningful to players, something that people would be excited to talent point into. They're excited to put the next point in. Like, and I don't see that yet with the class trees, and I really don't see that here at all. If you take away all of the skill points that are just increasing your guild size, this would be a very it would be a little laughable, and what would be left over. And what I think what I'm going to do, I'll work on because I'm not a developer, but I would work on an example of a guild talent tree that I think would be really cool. And basically it would be in a way that for the smaller guilds can reach certain pinnacle points. But once, again, if you have like 150 people, 200 people, 250 people, 300 people, there's going to be less and less offered to you in that skill tree compared to the people that have 50, right? And so you also have to take into consideration too, that because you have 50 people, and this is the other thing of why I think having guilds just have the amount of players they want to have in their guild day one, is because then you can start balancing the amount of experience needed to level, right? Because I'm sorry, 50 people, like if a small guild wants to stay small, they don't want any more than 50. Having to do 5 million, experience in this way could be way too much for a 50-man guild to pull off. This seems more in line with what 300 people can pull off, right? So, but if you don't give them that difference in experience, and we all have to just grow this tree by allocating points in to increase guild size, it's kind of just, it feels bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm trying to say. An example of an interesting one is a Lovely Serenade Bard passive adds a shield. Well, yeah, of course. Like, I think a lot of the bard passives provide very interesting choice dynamics as a player. I'm not saying that doesn't exist in the fighter or the cleric or, the tank. They do. I just want more of them. I want more interesting choice, less increased damage by X percentage, just like the frivolous shit. Get rid of the frivolous shit. And especially for how guilds, the smaller ones, need to have like sort of a vertical progression advantage. I think, again, if you create it in a way that every guild can start off by the amount of players they want to have day one, you can start making the tree as far as your first talent point allocation to be very different. And I think that's where a spider web might end up being a better choice, because there could be a certain tree branch that's just completely unavailable to you because you have 250 players. But if you had 100 players, that branch would be available to you, right? So again, the more people you have, the less accessibility you have to the full tree. The less people you have, the more availability you have towards the full tree. And this is why I think having a system where it's literally directing you from point to point, I think is also kind of bad. You need to be a little bit more free-flowing in this design. I don't think the guild system could actually mimic the weapon tree or even the character tree. This needs to be more free-flowing to allow for player or guild expression. And I think that's where you would probably go to the old design of the talent tree. If you remember the old character talent tree, where it was kind of like a big old square and you can kind of start. I never played with that tree. I didn't know it was available in the pre-alpha or whatever. But people said, oh, you just never played with it. You can kind of start kind of wherever you want. You need to have more of a mindset like that for the guild talent tree. And again, have certain branches that are available to smaller guilds that aren't available to bigger guilds. Right. And as a developer, you would then threshold whatever threshold you want, whether it's 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, and 300. And each has its own threshold. So if you have 230 people, well, you're not at the 250 yet, so you can still be allotted within these points. Right. So if you want to kind of game the system, you'd want to have 249 to still have the branch available. That one branch that is then inaccessible at 250. Right. So if you want to kind of game the system in that way, then you can do that. But it needs to be one of those things that the guild decides to do. Right. Let me see. Yes, it would be cool if more options were available to smaller guilds and less to largers. Well, and that's what I mean. Like, I want that to happen because I know that's the intent. Steven's talked about this for a long time, for many, many years. That was always the intent with the guild trees. I think this is sort of ridiculous in my opinion. And I think just like, so because this is a testing bed, I would just give everybody the max level, allow us to play with the trees, and allow us to be in a 300 person guild if we want to. So just to say right off the bat, a couple of changes I would make. And this could happen possibly in the February major patch, right? Because I believe Intrepid's probably going to want to do a major patch every month, right? So the next time when Rogue comes out, I'm pretty sure that'll fall in the next big update, right? Which will include the Rogue archetype, all of its passive abilities, the dual wielding daggers, potentially the new weapon archetypes. So here's what I would do for that patch. Get rid of the actual member allocation built into this tree completely, and allow every guild to be in the guild size they want, that is anywhere between 1 member to 300 day one. Then redo some of these trees. If you want to keep it the same layout, fine, but now that you can't as a developer put members plus X members, think of something else. And then also think, if a 300 person guild is going to allocate 1 point, how are we going to be able to work from the bottom up to where it can still benefit smaller guilds, but can't affect large guilds in the sense of vertical power? Because I think once you start asking yourselves that as a developer, you'll start to realize that this layout of talent distribution isn't going to work. The only way it'll work is if you literally create a specific guild tree per threshold. So you'll have, if you have 300, if you have 300 members, you'll have your own very unique guild tree that a level, or a 50-man guild would have a completely different unique tree, right? In the sense of allocation. So you would then have to create, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. You need to create 6 unique talent trees if you want to keep it in this particular threshold, which I think could be a lot of work. But if you want to simplify that work, then you basically you would redesign the layout to where you just have branches that are then grayed out depending on how many members are allocated to the guild, and start from there. And allow the talent point allocation to be more free-flowing than restrictive. If you want to make certain things restrictive at the more of the mid and the higher stuff, you can do that. But I think in the beginning, it needs to be a little bit more free-flowing. You need to have a little bit more expression into where you're going. And I think having, technically you have a little bit more free-flowing because you have 3 different options, but you're very restricted in what your first option is. I think this is kind of backwards in my opinion. I personally think that you should have at least 5. Like, your first decision point should be 5 different things. And this is why I think a spiderweb might be the best thing to do. Is to basically, like, just think of this being to the left, this being up, this being to the right, and there being 2 other branches that go down. And depending on your guild allocation will come into to do, its stuff or whatever. Freaking red here too. Based on what you're saying, this tree works as long as they limit the number of points you get. If you want to increase size by X members, you go up the middle until you get the number of members. True. I mean, it could work that way. It definitely could work that way. All I'm saying is that I think at a base level, I don't know if this is going to really excite anybody, to be honest with you. I don't think this is the kind of meaningful point allocation guilds are looking for. I think this is really going to be frustrating for players to deal with. And you don't want players to be frustrated. You want players to look forward to a system. I think this right here really brings, and again, I'm being very harsh. I know I'm being very critical on this, but this is something I'm very passionate about. And I know people have worked on this. I know people, have, really thought about this as a base system, but I think this base system it needs to be expounded upon and it needs to be lessened. I don't know what the intent is in the terms of how many levels they want a guild to have. Like, what is the max guild level? Is it 50, like a player level? If it is, I think that's a terrible decision right there. You want to have less choice, but more meaningful. Because then the guild will have each point, they'll have something to be looking forward to, rather than we have an insane grind to the next level and it's just something very frivolous. It's like, wow, we don't have anything really meaningful to look forward to for 3 more points. That just feels bad. Like, why do that? Especially if you're going to require an insane grind. It would be another thing if it wasn't that bad, right? If it took the guild like a couple of days to do this, okay, whoop-de-doo. But let me see, what perks are we really getting for the left tree? It really doesn't seem as good as the center and right. So in the left one, you're basically getting increase in XP, which is something you can literally get from a scroll. You're getting a weapon XP multiplier and increased guild size. You get resource drop reduce rate upon death, which is not stated, but that's why it kind of... I was thinking materials for gathering. That's where my mind went right off the bat. So yeah, but this is when you die, you drop 10% less materials. Let me see, max health, XP debt multiplier reduced by 15%, max mana increased, max mana or mana regeneration increased, and then health regeneration increased, and then of course just a power multiplier. Just again, all of these are completely uninteresting, boring. I don't know. And again, I think especially you should have some of these things potentially be a little bit more early than later. But I don't know the intent of the design. Let me see. It seems extra members should cost an exorbitant amount compared to the other fluff like 50 and 100 for people. So if they want more, it costs. Well, I don't like that mindset, because you're basically advocating to keep talent points to allocate to increase your guild size, and that's something I'm literally trying to remove from the system completely. I want this guild plus X members to be gone, removed entirely from this tree. I think, again, in my vision of this thing is day one, whatever guild you're in, whatever size the guild leader intends for the guild to be, you should be able to be that guild size day one. No restrictions at all. Because then you can start properly allocating guilds of whatever size they want, and then thresholding them in other ways once they start increasing, going from guild level 1 to level 2 to level 3. Because as a level 50 guild, maybe you get at level 2 a 3% power multiplier. But that 3% power multiplier is not accessible to guilds that are 100, 200, 300, right? And I know you'd be like, oh, well, early on that would create all these guilds to just make 50-man guilds. Well, we're already going to have to face that fact anyway. And that allows data to be had, that allows data to, see what are these really organized guilds going to do? Because this was always the debate. When Steven said that he was going to add more vertical power to the smaller guilds to give a chance to larger guilds, then what is going to stop these major guilds from then just keeping the way it currently is? We're just going to have, like, Pirates Guild is just going to be comprised of 20 50-man guilds. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to deal with that stuff regardless. And this is where I think Steven and Intrepid are going to have to make some hard decisions, whether that's if the community starts complaining about that's what the meta is just everybody's just forming 50-man guilds and there's no incentive really to be a larger guild than that, then they're going to have to make some hard decisions. And it may be coming to penalizing smaller guilds in other ways, right? So yes, you do have this vertical power progression, but now because you're a smaller guild, you can't participate in other things. Because you're a small guild, you would need to be in alliance with other guilds. But then if they did that, they would just alliance themselves with their own guilds. Like, it's hard. It's going to be a very hard thing to balance. It's going to be a very hard thing to circumvent, because that's all we do as gamers. We try to circumvent every system to benefit us, the gamer. That's how we are. I'm just speaking as realistic as possible. Let me see. I agree that having X members grind to bring in 10 more, that makes it like a waiting room to get into a guild that doesn't have enough slots. Well, exactly. And people want to play in their guild. No one wants to be in the B team. No one wants to be in guild 6. Everybody wants to be in one area, right? So if you have like 296 members, allow them to play together day one. Why restrict them? Because they're already going to play together anyway. This is the whole thing. The real guild progression is Discord. That's the real guild progression. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of organized guilds already in Ashes of Creation that use Discord to such a sophistication that if they want to rally their people up, they can do that with the click of a button on Discord. So what are we doing here? Like, what are we talking? Like, you're trying to limit or trying to gatekeep certain things that can't be gatekept. We have Discord. Let me see. So guilds are the end game. I feel like guilds in general are a community social space for people to interact with one another. And when a game starts to arbitrarily reduce that and say, oh, you're gonna have to increase your guild size over time by this talent point system. Again, Lost Ark had that. It was a shit system. It was. Every person, there was no person I talked to in Lost Ark that was like, man, this guild system is awesome. It's so good. It made your guild so meaningful to put a point in so you can increase your guild size by 10. No one was saying that. Like literally no one was saying that. It's a major capitalistic system, huge red flag. Well, and that's the thing we have to test. Like this is why I think this test is going to be years long, because there's a lot of things to hammer out. And this is just one facet of the system. This is just the guild talent tree we're talking here. But if they want this to be meaningful, if they want this to actually be something special for guilds, this ain't it. Like, not even at a foundational level, this ain't it. Now, I can see this. I can see the vision for this comparatively to what we had before. We just need more to it. But I can see the vision. I don't see the vision with the guild talent tree. I don't. I am very worried about the guild progression in Ashes. I think these are very unrewarding and uninspired decision making that a guild leader would need to make, and it's unfortunate. People want to play together, man. Like, that's it. Do people want to play together? Let me see, not familiar with Lost Ark. How about factions like DAOC? And that needs an odd number as opposed to Warhammer Online. They had 2. DOC had 3. I don't know what you're referring to because I didn't play those MMOs, so I don't know what the numbers 2 and 3 mean. Do not respect weapon skill trees. It is bugged. Oh my god. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm very passionate about this particular system because I do want guilds to flourish and to have this immediate excitement about that system. I don't get excited when your very first point is just to increase your members. Again, if I want to be a 50-man guild, I just don't think that this is something I would want. Now, would I want the XP debt multiplier reduced? Absolutely. I would. But as a 50-man guild, I don't need to increase my guild size by 10. So this is kind of like a half waste, half... It just, it's like, well, I don't... it's... I don't know. This first point just bothers me a little bit. So let me see, had 3 factions, Midgard and Albion, independent of which guild you were in. Oh, okay. Let me see, what if they add more mechanics that are tied to guild membership in game? So rallying may be circumvented, but if they add something that can be circumvented, like glint can be traded. I mean, again, they could make some very interesting decisions. Absolutely. And I think it's going to require... Now, could I think of all those interesting solutions? Absolutely not. Like, I could probably think of a few, but I would really have to sit there and think. But just like when they asked in Discord to give feedback on the phase or just anything in general, I think if they started to ask for feedback on the guild system, and if you had to think of an interesting, like an allocation point, like a guild talent node, what node would you create? I think they should do that. Ask the players. Oh, a very interesting small story I will say. The creator of My Hero Academia, whenever he started out and he was making his manga and it caught fire and people were really getting into My Hero, this was before the freaking anime even came out, people on Twitter in Japan were giving him ideas on characters based off of his world. And he actually did a lot of them. What's crazy is the guy in Class B that's like a manga page. He's like a literal, like I forgot what his name is, but that was a guy on Twitter in Japan that made that suggestion. So I think, again, Intrepid just needs to ask players what they would want, and just, again, think about this system in terms of not increasing size. Take size completely out of it and increasing size, and think about either limiting the amount of points a larger guild has, or limiting the like certain trees, right? Certain branches, and think about it in that form. And I really think it's the developers in Intrepid, they're fucking awesome. Like I think, again, there's so much shit they're doing. I'm not trying to say like I'm really not trying to talk crap at all. I'm not. I know that there's probably multiple teams or multiple people in a team that made this particular talent system. But, you know, when I talk to Planetdorf, when I talk to Nathan, you know, they're very, you know, tough-skinned developers from what I hear. So I'm just letting them know, like, I'm not sugarcoating anything. Like, I just think this system is not it at all. And, you know, what happened whenever I was talking about the old system here, when it was like a square, right? The old fighter skill tree. I talked so much crap about that. I was like, this is terrible. Like, what is this? You know, and they redesigned it. You know, whenever they released the Bard, you saw the Bard actually having like certain thresholds. You know, it was from the bottom up. It was it was clear and more decisive in the decision making. It just was better. It was better. So I think, again, it being foundational, I get it. But I think this is way too much. I think if I'm really curious to see what the max guild level will be at the end of February. Because if the first point is going to be almost 6 million XP, we might be a while. So it's going to be hard then to test the choices and see how it really is to allocate points in, if it's going to take us this long to do it naturally, you know? Adventure and XP is nice. It is. I'm not saying, like, I'm saying there's just a lot of them that are a little just, like I said, especially like if you were, you know, think about it this way. Your guild's grinding. You're going to hit level 4. And the next point is weapon XP multiplier. You're going to get a weapon XP multiplier. I'm level 25. My weapons are maxed out. The next point is completely useless to me. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's some of those choices just don't offer that excitement, is what I'm saying. I think they just need to really look at it back and think of more interesting decisions. You know, talk to guilds, ask the guilds what they were looking for, what they are wanting from a small, more strategic, you know, guild size compared to this large bombastic, you know, guild, what those people are looking for, and make decisions based off of feedback, make decisions based off of, you know, more interesting player nodes. And I think we can hit it. You know what I mean? But I mean, I think this is definitely, of course, you know, foundational, but I'm being as hard as I can because I want the developers to understand what I'm thinking, because I've talked to so many people about this system. If I were to start asking people what they think about this, I don't think the excitement's going to be the first thing out of their mouth. I think it's going to be either meh or frustration. That's the two feelings that I think I would get from people by asking them how they feel about this particular guild system. And no system should ever be meh, especially when it's a new one and it's supposed to be exciting. And frustrating, that's just, you know, I don't need to explain that. You should never have a frustrating system in Ashes. Let me see. It is not reachable if it's the increase is similar to leveling, crafting XP rates. Yeah, it probably not. The XP is too much, and it could be. It could be, because the XP could, you know, and this is why I think having certain thresholds and allowing players to hit, you know, without, you know, limiting the members, and just allowing the guilds to, if you want to have 300 people in your guild day one, then it could be like an what's the word? Oh my God. There's a word in MMORPGs, and my brain is not thinking of it right now. Okay. Either way, I'm just saying they can adjust it per threshold, right? So there's a certain XP threshold for 50, a certain one for 100, a certain one for 150, 200, 250, and 300. So it's based, you know, you can allocate better. So as an example, if you have 50 members in your guild and that's all you want to have, and this is what I think personally, you should need a lock button. And what I mean by that is once you lock in your guild number, you can't invite anymore. Because I think the other problem you'll have is you're going to start trying to toy with the system. And I think if you do want to unlock and you want, you know, here's my thing. If you have it unlocked, none of the points should be available. Or like, if let's say you're level 2 or whatever, then all of the points you allocated are kind of they're not working. You have to lock the guild up again. And that requires a cooldown to unlock and lock. Because you need to be able to lock in your number. And then once you lock in your number, then you can start generating experience again as a guild. If it's unlocked, you also cannot be generating experience for your guild. And because again, there's going to be guilds that are they're going to play with the system, or maybe they'll realize, oh, we were going to want to have, 150 members, but now that we're thinking about it, it wouldn't be so bad if we had 200. So we're going to, unlock ourselves and do it that way. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, that could be a terrible idea. I don't know. But I think there should be some sort of a lock-in mechanism for your guild number, is what I'm saying. Genuine question. What kind of guild perks do you think would be interesting? One I can think of right off the bat is, now what I think would be really cool, once we start seeing guild storage, I think adding a perk for expanding guild storage would be kind of fucking cool. I think also having something, you got to think of it not just individualistic, where as I gain this very individual buff for me. You got to think about it holistically. Like, what is the guild benefit? And I think if you look at it as storage, if you look at even guild commissions, right? You can have 2 times the guild commissions, right? That would be a very interesting perk. You can think about it in the sense of processing and crafting, or gathering, just professions in general. Like if you belong to our guild, you have a potential to gather more materials, you process faster, you craft with less materials potentially. That's a very big thing, right? Like those are things that you would be very incentivized to join a certain guild. But once you start having very interesting niche decisions, and very powerful ones, mind you, again, this is why the branch system I think would work really well, because you can have a whole branch that's based off of economy, and you can throw in guild storage, you can throw in commission tags, you can throw in profession stuff, anything that affects the economy. Okay, yeah, those are all much more interesting. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. Do you know what I mean? You can literally start categorizing each branch, where this is what I've always envisioned is, as a guild leader, when you look at this tree, this imaginary tree that's fantastic and amazing, you want fucking everything, but you can't. And you're like, every decision, you're like, fuck, okay. So when we hit level 3, we have 4 decisions to make. We have 4 options, and they're all fucking good. But what is the best good for our guild? That's what I envision for this system. And I just don't see that in this tree. Like your level 2, we either increase our adventuring multiplier or our adventuring XP. This is a dead node. Let's think about it this way. So imagine this being your choice as a guild leader. We either increase our adventuring XP multiplier by 5%, or we either increase our max mana by 5%, or we increase our gathering XP rate by 50. Like, and look at this. I think this is actually a pretty good point, like, now that I'm looking at it. Out of these 3 options, I'd probably pick this one. But it's like, I look at this and I'm like, meh. And I look at this and I'm like, meh. Because again, I know people like to think the adventuring multiplier is going to be amazing. Dude, you have scrolls. There are scrolls you can actually earn 6% increased multiplier. That makes this particular node moot. Now, if you had both, if you had the scroll and this, I can see a point, but you're going to level and you're going to do stuff eventually. Like, this to me would be the better choice. But I would rather have the other two decisions feel as good as this node, is what I'm saying. At the very least, each node costing the same amount of XP is wild. Well, that's what I mean, right? Because some choices look very... why would I want this, right? And that's the problem. Guildmates can loot your body without getting flagged, maybe. That'd be a very interesting choice. Like, and that's what I'm saying. You got to start thinking of the interesting out-of-the-box stuff as to the things a guild... Like, what do guilds participate in? Well, they participate in caravans. They participate in wars. Node wars, guild wars, castle wars. So if you start thinking about every branch in the game and what interesting choices could we provide in each of those categories, I think you can start making some more interesting decisions. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, to me, it's just all about looking at it from a guild's point of view and properly making certain branches that would make very interesting choice dynamics. Because if you had a war tree where it influences node wars, guild wars, castle wars, and sieges, and then you had another tree that benefits economy, well, dude, our guild participates in both. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, where do we go? Because you definitely want the fucking worst branch, but you also want the economy branch, right? But what is our guild planning on doing? Like, if you look at Loreforge, they have 3 branches, which I think Loreforge and how they set out their guild was very, very smart, in my opinion. Because you have a PvE branch, a PvP branch, and an economy branch. So they technically are going to have 3 guilds that make up the Dark Talon Trading Company, right? And because of how I'm advocating for the talent tree in my head, they would have very clear decision making on how their structure of a guild would turn out. But in this, I think all 3 of the Black Talon Trading Company I feel like every guild would have the same decisions. This is so cookie cutter, in my opinion. Like, I'm sure if I sat here long enough, we can determine what would be the path to take and every guild would have that. So where's the individual unique aspect of this system? It's not provided. The guild tree should be guild oriented, not individual. Absolutely. That's what I mean. Like, I think now there could be certain things that an individual would get, but you got to look at it holistically. What is the guild benefiting from this? Right? And there could be some things that an individual will be able to have an increase in, so to speak. And that's fine. But I think you have to look at it holistically and not at the individual level. And when I look at this stuff, it's very individualistic and it doesn't have that guild mindset. So I feel like I've yapped about this enough. Like, I'm sorry if I bored anybody about this, but again, I'm very, very passionate about this. I really want the system to thrive. Steven hired this man. Hey, they already have me as a content creator. If they want me to consult, I'm always here. Planin always can reach out to me. Corey can reach out to me. Brian can reach out to me. Bucky can reach out to me. My Discord is always open. I mean, and all I'm saying is that's why I am here as a content creator, is to provide my insight, to provide what I feel would be exciting for guilds, what would be exciting for people to partake in for the game. And it's not saying that I can't have some shit ideas. I'm sure I do in certain ways, but let me see. Let's do this treasure map, the common one. Let's get that one out of the way. Oh, interesting. Okay, right by I like how they did that. Did you see how they did the Amber Springs, guys? And now you can just walk up to them. It's kind of cool. So the one thing they need to do with these pocket dungeons, so if you look at here, this little icon. So, I mean, would you call Oakenbane Keep a dungeon or a pocket dungeon? Because I would think Coral Oak. Oh, like I say, so it's a different one. So this one's a different Titan's Ring. So you see these little like icons here? They need to put these little markers in the desert for all the pocket dungeon locations. By the way, that mount is sick. You made the best wish to Steven. Dude, I appreciate that, man. Everybody was like telling me that. They're like, dude, you literally... Well, I've been a content creator for almost 3 years. I've been following this game for almost 5 years. I am very aware of a lot of the mounts. Like, I was actually gonna because my thing was, if the Graveyard Golem wasn't available, I was gonna ask for the Terrapin, which is the tortoise that has the changing, because I thought that would be done potentially, because they showcased that way back when, but I knew the Graveyard Golem was in the game files because it's literally a creature. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally a creature you can go and fight. So one of my friends was the Galaxy Shell Tortoise, yeah, but the Golem is much better. Yeah, I agree. This is literally the mount that I wanted to get when the game launched. Like, I wanted to, because I have the skin for it. I bought it. So I was going to get if it's a tier 2 mount, tier 3 mount, I don't know what tier this particular mount is going to be. But once I get that mount, I was going to put this skin over it because I have this skin. But I believe the skin is different colored than what this one's going to be. Mine is actually more black than what this one is. This one's actually, I do love this one though. I think the rock and everything like that looks, I mean, it just looks clean. I like it a lot. It feels amazing to wander around on it. Oh, dude, yeah, it does. And it's really fast. Like, this mount is actually as fast as the Croc, which the Croc is what is Concept Assault. Looks like winter is coming, guys. This mount is actually as fast as the Croc, and the Croc we all know is bugged, but this mount isn't bugged, and it goes really fast. Actually, I can also put on the Strider on it to make it even faster. So it probably is 185 speed, but then I can make it 195 with the Ranger Strider buff, which is nice. Oh, the Croc is fixed. Where was that change? Oh, you can finally enchant level 20 gear in Node's Reputation Vendor. 427 tickets to buy Journey enchant scrolls. Oh shit, okay. I'm level 17, so I haven't even gotten that stuff yet, but I'll definitely keep that in mind. I do need to try to level. I want to level to like level 20 if I can. I feel like if I get this, I'm going to okay. Oh, look, there's a little thing right there too. Yeah, there's Scarab mounts too now. Yeah, that I think came out with the desert update. You're gonna see a lot of different mounts with this update, guys. 100%. There's also the Derpy Anteater mount that you're gonna be able to get too. There's also there's a couple of desert mounts that are available. Oh shit, is that heroic? It is. Heck yeah. I actually need to start getting the daffodils and dandelions. Apparently, is that a bush? Oh, it is. I was like, it looked like a weird mine. Oh yeah, the new Croc desert mount too. Yeah, there's, like I said, you're gonna start seeing some really unique mounts. 100%. Do we know what is happening for tomorrow's developer update? Apparently treasure hunting. So you're I'm giving you the update early. But what I'm thinking, because I just have it, I find it so hard to believe that they're just going to show a desert treasure map hunt, because that's what I'm pretty sure they're going to do. They're probably going to showcase certain mounts, or is that a bush? Golly, dude, I really hate winter. I really hate winter. Oh my god. It makes the stuff look weird. Let's see in a video. Cinematic, okay. There we go. And we can finally craft T3 mount in 1 day, 6 hours. Can't wait for new mounts. That's nice, man. Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now with the nodes and what they're doing and trying to allocate for stuff. Like, it's been kind of like a mess, not gonna lie. All right. I really hope, and I really don't think they're going to change the treasure map system. I was hoping at first that the update that we're going to show for Friday was going to be a change, like a major change to the treasure map system. And unfortunately, treasure maps work the way they currently work right now. So I doubt it's going to be a... like a change to how the system works, because I was really hoping maybe they had like a different way to do treasure maps, and that's what they were going to showcase. But the winter looks better than it was in P1. I mean, it could. I just find winter to be like, especially as a gatherer, it really it really like blockades certain things. So I'm just so like this right here, this limestone, I probably would have seen it if it wasn't winter. Oh, look at this rubidium over here too. I found out what the scorpion venom is for. They are used in apprentice and journeyman cooking. Wait, so you want to use venom for your cooking? You want to poison people or what? Or is that like for rogues or something? Oh, we're in fall 10 days before winter. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I love fall. I love the way fall looks, but I think the transition to winter should not be this soon, in my opinion. Because if you were to does this look like fall to you, or does this look like winter? To me, it looks like winter. So see, like, I have to pay attention. Wait, is that a copper node or is that... No, it's granite. I don't want, but that's the only use I have for sands right now. Okay. Wait, where did my graveyard golem go? Did it die? No! Graveyard golem died. I gotta reach out to Steven and be like, Steven, you need to make my mount more powerful. Give it more stamina, more health. All right. And I feel like treasure maps are going to be harder too in the winter because it's just it's so annoying how common maps are the hardest ones to find. That to me is just bizarre. You go do a legendary map and find that in 3 minutes, and you go do a common map and it takes you like 30 minutes or an hour to find. Make that make sense. I'm not seeing. I thought it might be a written error that it's still winter. I mean, it could be. I just think that it's not like it's like, I understand they want the progression of winter to be a little bit like more like they just don't want from one to the next. It's like fall and the next day is all winter. But let's be honest, that's literally how it happens in real life. Like in Texas, it was not snowing at all, and then the next day you wake up and there's snow everywhere. So I get what they're trying to do, but in real life, yeah, that shit happens, you know. Like from one day to the next, you can go from fall to winter. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to say about that, but definitely true. What do you think if mounts have death count limit and then it finally dies permanently? I don't mind. I know that was kind of like a debate for people. I don't mind it, but I do think they need to add certain things to like maybe some consumables or some crafted or process, like something to use for professions that could either grant lives back, right? And maybe it's limited, right? Like if your mount can only ever take 2 more lives, like let's just say you have a mount, let's say each mount has 3 lives. It dies 3 times, it dies. But you can also create consumables that you can put on the mount that grants it a life. And maybe the max lives you can grant on a mount is only 2. So technically your mount can die 5 times before it dies permanently. And I do think that health, you know, needs to matter as well in that sense. So the health needs to matter, and I think the regeneration needs to be a lot slower than where it currently is. And then you can also make craftable consumables for your mounts to regenerate health with, right? So that's like another thing in the economy that you'd want to throw in there too. Yeah, so people will unsummon mounts too. Yeah, potentially. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's gonna be a lot. I'm not seeing the frickin' thing, man. I was hoping I would find this one quick, but clearly this one is, and I don't know if that's the deal with the frickin' snow or what. Let me see real quick. Let's see, maybe over here. That was different. It's a rare one too. Oh, zinc. I have like a shit ton of it. All right. Put that there. So the map still isn't being completed. That sucks. All right. Now we can go on. What's my PC specs? If you're watching me on Twitch, dude, I posted my PC specs. If you just kind of scroll a little bit to the bottom, you'll see I put my PC specs there. Sandstone looks like pink granite. In PTR, it literally looked like brown granite. It like sand covered granite is what it looked like, unless they changed it, but that's what it looked like. Do you need to try Dark Age of Camelot mounts? Get bonuses based on barding mount armor. Oh, that's interesting. Uh-oh. By Jova. Oh god, I know where the space is too. The Daragal Estates. Okay, let's head over there to the Daragal Estates. Is that cinematic or epic graphics? This is cinematic. I have it on high as high can be. 44. I'm gonna wait for my graveyard golem to come back because it's just faster. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll just wait until... Fuck it. I'll be right. I'm gonna get some water. catching up with chat real quick. I didn't get the invite after Steven said that the pack holders would get to the PTR, but no. Yeah, only A1 holder have PTR access currently, but might change soon. I hope it does change soon, dude. I actually messaged Steven about that because I personally, in my opinion, the PTR testers are burnt out. They need PTR testers, and there's people who clearly want to PTR test. Get those people in there. The people that have been in there don't want to be there. You know, like, I'm serious. Like, everybody that's had PTR access lately, get in there for all of the 3 minutes and then just leave. Like, they're not in there actually testing anything. They're there to specifically look at a thing, and then once they've looked at that thing, they're out. Yeah, we're a very small group on PTR. Yeah, it is. It's super duper small. Like, and I know they need testers. I know they need people to go in there. So, like, put a fresh crop of players in to test, you know, the things that you need to test in there. And, you know, we can get better and more adequate PTR feedback, you know? Yeah, no one from A1 joins anymore. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. Oh. Almost ran off the edge. I just had to put my glove on. God, can you imagine if all of that was copper? There's just, you know, 5 major copper nodes just in a cluster. Never have seen that in my life. It doesn't exist. That's the one thing I love about this test, or just playing, is there's the amount of people that you just see out in the world. It feels really good. I know it feels like there's too much, and because there probably is, but I know as a gatherer, I want it to feel like a solo player game a little bit, you know, because I want all the nodes for myself. But I mean, graphics in this game average for 2045. For 2045. Oh god. All right, so we can cut across. Do I have the sound? I think I do. I do. There we go. Ashes was never about graphics. Well, Ashes stems from the gameplay loops. Graphically, Steven always talked, its graphics would always seem like a secondary bonus side effect compared to what the main thing is for Ashes. In my opinion, I really dig the graphics to this game. I just do. Like, I as someone who's played WoW for a long time, I really enjoy the graphics. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna completely mispronounce the name. Akadim? Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Let me see, what matters is the content they provide. Well, absolutely. Like, that's the thing. Graphics don't amount to shit if the gameplay loops are terrible. You could give me the best looking game in the world, but if the gameplay loops are crap to play, unfun, uninspired, I ain't gonna play that game. You know? But I will say this, like, I'm the kind of player where I do need to be satisfied with the graphics. I do. And you can make very exciting, like, 2D, like Vampire Survivors kind of art. You can make it like RuneScape, you know, but for me, I don't like the RuneScape graphics. Like I don't. I need something a little bit pleasing, and for me, I find the graphics of Ashes to be very pleasing to me. Similar to like New World. I thought the graphics of New World were really good. I just, you know, again, it was the systems about New World that just fell completely flat. But I did love the graphical fidelity of New World, and I do love the graphical fidelity of Ashes. I was following to you, but a couple of months ago I stopped following Ashes, but wanted to come back in 2 years, but I returned after 3 months. Yeah, dude, I know the feeling, man. Just needed to get away, but then also you're like, fuck, I wanted to, you know, because I remember you and I was like, I thought he was following, but you know, I could have been probably misremembering or thinking maybe it was some other name. But yeah, man, it's good to have you back, man. I mean, we've been cooking. Intrepid has been at work doing shit. I like my graphics like I like my women, as pretty as possible without being run hardware. Oh, dude. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, crap. Whoa. Is there... Are the sounds messed up? What the heck is going on? I'm not on a 5090. Well, I don't think anybody is right now. Oh, look, I got mail. Oh, there it is. The mounds look different, or they look more fleshed. They're more blended in to the ground. Moon bells, common moon bells. Okay, sure. Of course, it's not about you. Just you are a great streamer. I've just been following the game since 2017 and got a little burnt out. And dude, yeah, if you haven't been watching me, dude, I really appreciate it. But you know, I always say to take a break, man. And I think having a 3-month break is fine, dude. Like, that's good. Gave you a chance to like look at other shit, go play other games. Don't worry about Ashes of Creation. But I mean, you know, now that you're back, you can just be back from time to time. Watch me every now and then. Watch the game progress every now and then. I mean, the February is gonna have another big month with the Rogue potentially releasing. So, yeah, man. I'm glad you got that break, man. But yeah, on my end, I'm just following another game so I don't get burnt out from Ashes. That way I still follow without losing interest. Yeah, Nemesis, you're doing it right, man. Like, for me as a content creator, why do you think I'm doing treasure maps right now and not in some Carfin group or Steel Bloom group grinding? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I don't enjoy being a higher level, or not that I don't want to be that level, but I also know that grinding in a way, or grinding that way, it can also make it very unsatisfying for me to have no incentive to further log in. And so I am just not wanting that to happen. And I'm just having a lot of fun. Oh my god, my mount is dead again. What is going on? Is that a big bluebell? Herbalism. we go. I hear my baby. She just woke up. All right. I've been playing Classic WoW, a little taking a break from Ashes, and it's all good. That's nice, dude. I was playing Cataclysm Classic, and like I just don't want to freaking play WoW anymore, man. I don't. I am so burnt out in WoW that it's like I can play WoW because it's like I'm using it as sort of a reprieve from Ashes, but it's like I hate the fact that I'm, oh wow, it's just right across the way over here. I really do hate the fact that that I don't have like another game that's as satisfying as Ashes to play, and I have to play WoW. Like, that's where my mindset is right now. It sucks. It really sucks. I was begging you before, bro, try Lineage 2. I mean, I could probably look into it, see what kind of private server or like what's going on there. But it's like I would play it to not really play it. You know what I'm saying? I was playing Path of Exile 2 as a filler, but I can only do the RPG grind or the rotation for it so much. Like, ARPGs are very narrow in the scope of content, like what you do, right? Like, it's just I don't see how a person does that. Like, oh, I'm just gonna do maps and kill monsters the same way, same rotation, over and over and over and over again, and do that thousands of times over. I don't I don't, like I said, I can do it for like 50 times, you know, maybe, but I just I get burnt out, like really bad burnt out with a game like Path of Exile. Wait, what is that? Is that granite? Oh yeah, it's granite. But yeah, I mean, I think if oh look, there's, okay, I can get that right there. I mean, I probably could try to download it just to see what it's like. Oh wow, that just spawned in right there. Wow, I guess sounds are just messed up in general, huh? Yeah, because the sound effects should be on. You know, and it was so funny because it was like this in the PTR as well. The PTR had issues with the sounds and stuff like that. Played a lot of PoE 2 lately, but was a big D2 fan back in the day. Yeah. Oh, wow. Real nice. All right, let's go and find this map. Oh, look. But if you played Warcraft, how do you see yourself in Ashes? I see the reason why I like Ashes as a World of Warcraft player is because it is so far and removed different than WoW. And as someone who played WoW for 17 years, I am in desperate need of a change. Like, I still love MMORPGs, but the way this MMORPG is structured from a gameplay standpoint, from a player standpoint, from an economic standpoint, it's just so different than what WoW does. And that difference excites me. That difference is the thing that reinvigorated me into the MMORPG genre. So, yeah, Star Wars Galaxies is still my favorite MMO of all time. Yeah, I know it's still very much like a fan favorite, you know. And you know, our boy Corey, Cortarian Slurp, who is one of the main devs who works on the artisanship professions, is a big Star Wars Galaxies nerd. Like, he loves Star Wars Galaxies. Oh no. Shit. There's a lot of goblins here. This might be hard to spot. That 2-star is still following me. I gotta get out, like, further out. This game took inspiration from a lot of Korean MMOs. Absolutely, it did. It took a lot of inspiration from, you know, Lineage 2, from Arcade. And, you know, it's going to be without all the pay-to-win microtransaction garbage that ended up plaguing those games. And, you know, I wasn't really there for the kind of downfall or the kind of... because I didn't play those games, but I can only imagine, because I felt like when the WoW token was introduced as a WoW player, it was literally the beginning of the end. Like, everybody that played WoW could feel that. So funny, it says Ashes Codex, it would be like right here. However, I am not seeing it here. Let me see, if you mean PvP side, maybe not, but PvE will be fine for an old school WoW player. Yeah, well, I'm actually more excited for the PvE side of the Ashes content, but not saying that I won't take part in PvP. Like, I will, like 100%. But you know, as someone who's done a lot of PvE for those 17 years, I'm just excited to see what kind of PvE is going to be meaningful in this game. Let me see. I came back with expected but bad news. I didn't get a 5090 on launch day. Don't worry, bro. So did a lot of other people didn't. What the heck? I mean, dude, launch days for NVIDIA graphics cards is always a shit show. I think PC launch parts is kind of crazy in general. Like the 40 series was insane. The 3000 series was diabolical. Oh, you want a $700 graphics card? Pay us $1,600 on Amazon. Like, it was just like, what the hell? Okay. Yeah, 10 series is also huge. Yeah, I saw a video today about, you know, how NVIDIA has been on this trend lately of charging more and actually giving us less per dollar of performance. It was very interesting. It was by something hardware. I forgot what his YouTube channel was. I think Jake's Hardware or something like that. It's a really interesting YouTube video. But yeah, I think, especially now, I think when we were at the 10 series was like a really big graphical jump. And then I think, in my opinion, ever since then, I think we've kind of capped in our technology. And we just don't know. Let's see, can it be here? I'm gonna go look over there. I think we just don't have those kinds of leaps anymore. Unless there's something that, like, and maybe AI could potentially be that leap, but we're not seeing it with the DLSS 4. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but from all the videos that I've seen, DLSS, oh crap. Go up here real quick. But yeah, I just don't see the those graphical jumps happening as crazy as they were. I know it's supposed to be within the thingy, but Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the tab is crazy. It's supposed to be here, but I don't see it. Why does it... What the hell is going on? My button won't push. All right, so this one might be bugged. I mean, unless there's like a different mound now. But at least from what Ash's Codex says, it should be here, and it's not. It's literally not here. Just check one more time. Yeah, it's supposed to be like right here. Oh, it's right here. Like right outside the frickin' thing. Jesus. So what did I get? Giant bluebells. Common giant bluebells. All right. So weird. 50 series is the worst in the last probably 15 years. Yeah, one of my friends was talking to me about that, and he was telling me he's like, because I got the 4080 Super for my current build, and he was just like, yeah. I go, you buying a pre-built and doing what you did was probably really smart. He's like, I probably would have went with AMD though for your processor, but he's like, it's whatever. But he's like, he goes, these new cards are not. He's like, the 4090 compared to the 5090, like, it's just, the comparison is going to be negligible. And for almost spending what, $400 more, which it statistically isn't going to be $400 more, because the 1600 MSRP price for a 4090, you would never even, you couldn't buy it at that price. Like, you were spending $2,000, like, minimally. And with the 5090 being 2,000 MSRP, you're probably going to spend $2,500 or even $3,000 on that card, you know? Yeah, it's so, is it really worth it in that sense? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the, in my mind, the kind of like, yeah. All right, where are we going? Oh, okay. Right by east of Winstead. thought they fixed that. You see, and that is why my current build, which is why it's my first build, has an AMD card and it's not as bad to use. Of course, I lose on DLSS and NVIDIA features, but it ain't bad without them. Yeah, I still think NVIDIA is still the better way to go right now, but it's not by much. It used to be by a lot, but now it ain't by much. And I think if AMD keeps playing their cards right with Radeon, I think eventually, especially if NVIDIA keeps sacrificing price to performance, like AMD could have them beat in that regard. And, you know, it could be in this generation. It could be in the cards that we see coming up in February. You know, because aren't they launching their new cards, but it's not, it didn't happen in January. It's going to happen in February, right? Oh, do you have DLSS activated? I do. I do have DLSS activated currently. For some reason, there's a current bug in the game files because I have to activate it every time. It doesn't stay on for me all the time. Like I have to literally go into my video settings and turn it on because it does not stay on. But all my other settings save except for that one. I probably should put in a bug report for that, but I'm pretty sure they're aware of it. Yeah, in February, I believe they said themselves they want to target a more budget-oriented crowd rather than playing NVIDIA's game. I hope so, but I think regardless, the consumers will play the same game they're playing with NVIDIA cards, right? It's not like they're going to be scalping NVIDIA cards and then you're going to be able to buy a Radeon card at MSRP price. Like, that's the problem right now. And I really don't know how you fix that, to be honest. Because it's to me, it's a very shitty situation of having to... you know, like if you, especially if you're trying to be budget friendly, right? And then you try to go buy a card on Amazon or whatever, and they're like way above budget friendly prices. Like, that's kind of shitty. Can you show your FPS, please? Sure. Isn't it Shift Alt F? There you go. About 60 frames. 50 frames. And of course, this is without like optimization, right? Like Ashes has not really optimized its game yet. Yeah, and I really like, I advocated that to plan in. Is it iron? Okay. I've been advocating optimization before phase 3. The amount of people that I've had message me that were really disappointed that bought Ashes of Creation to then be completely disappointed by the fact their computer can't run it, which deflated their entire enthusiasm to play the game. That is very, you know, like as a content creator, someone who really tries to advocate for this game, it's just unfortunate. What rarity was this map? Rare. I have a bunch of rare maps, and then I have a heroic map I'll do at the end. But it's like I tell people all the time, you know what I mean? Like, going with the right mindset, because again, the optimization is something that is going to come later. But I do think they should try to make an optimization pass. Like, it doesn't have to be a good one. It doesn't have to be a real deep one. But, you know, make an effort to really prioritize like a good optimization pass through. Because I think that would benefit a lot of people in the game. And also the people that can't play the game. but I don't, as a non-developer talking, I don't know if that's possible. Like, I don't know. Is that a bluebell? Oh. It's a moonbell? Put on my herbine stuff real quick. Yeah, I just don't know if that's in the cards, you know? Have you ever done a legendary map? I have not. There's a couple of people that that have told me that they've ran legendary maps, and were very disappointed by their results of the legendary map. And again, to make a legendary excavation kit is nothing to scoff at either. And I find the best rarities to do is rare and heroic, personally. But I will do an uncommon or a common. But I find, for me and for the materials that I'm trying to zone in on, I find those particular rarities to be more worth my time. If that makes sense to people. The Shadow Division. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Those things charge, man. Graveyard golems are deadly. Am I still working in insurance? I am not. Currently, I am being a stay-at-home dad, taking care of my little one. And it's because daycares are really effing expensive, and the amount of times I've heard of my friends with bruises, with them getting sick and then needing to take time off because their kids are sick, it just didn't make financial sense. And then I have another little one coming in the summer, so I'm just, you know, taking care of my little one now, and I'm gonna take care of my even littler one in the summer. So I mean, I would love to be a full-time Ashes streamer. I mean, I do consider myself a full-time Ashes streamer in a sense. I try to stream as much as I can without feeling like I'm alienating my family. But I feel like, in my mind, for how I've been prioritizing stuff, I feel like I do stream quite often. And the monies that I do get from Twitch and from YouTube and stuff like that, I basically just give that money to my wife to help for bills. That's it. It's not like I'm living some lavish lifestyle of luxury or anything like that. Why am I going into Heimelman Hills? I feel like I'm an idiot. Like, what am I doing? I should have went up. There's a spot right up here. Yeah, but I think the goal eventually, like for, you know, me making content and stuff like that, is to be like a full-time YouTuber and streamer. But I'm not thinking of the short game right now, because right now the Ashes viewership is very volatile, I guess would be a good word to use. It's very up and down depending on what's going on in the game. If it's dull, the viewership is down. If shit's getting exciting and updates are happening, like viewership is up. Now right now I kind of don't care about that. Like I'll stream whenever, it doesn't really matter to me. But when it comes to like making content, stuff like that, the content I try to make is more feedback based for the devs to help shape Ashes in a better way, or at least in my opinion is a better way. But you know, it's my opinion, one dude's opinion. I don't want them to shape this game that just fits me, but I also try to think of the game at large while keeping its principles intact. Not trying to be like super selfish or anything like that when it comes to shaping Ashes to fit my WoW playstyle. I really don't want Ashes to be like WoW. I think it serves the game better by it being different. That's as a WoW player, that's why I was very interested in this game, because it was not like WoW. I went down this way thinking maybe I can see some like mines or moon bells or big blue bells, and of course I'm just always disappointed. I feel like there's just always people like around me and near me, and it's like I can never catch a break. Right there. And that's how you do it. Oh, like, why are all the gatherables just common? Like, can I at least have like a rare gatherable? Like, please. Alright, where is this one? Oh, fuck. This is where all the freaking shit is. This could be terrible. Fuck. Alright. Well, gotta try it out anyway. Maybe we can luck out and actually get it without being targeted by like a freaking flamethrower person. That'd be nice. I love the music, by the way. Thank you, dude. Courtesy of White Bat Audio. My boy Casey over there. Oh, I hate that bug. I hate it. I swear the audio bugs in this one is not that great. Unable to loot. There we go. Let me just go to Winstead real quick and just sell off all the stuff. I've just been selling all the common materials that I get. Like, it's like whatever. Like, I've been selling all of the commons and uncommons. And keeping anything rare and higher. I think that's just better. Because right now, dude, like, storage is just so limited, man. Like, if we had better storage stuff, I'd be able to keep more. But I can't really do that whenever storage is as limited as it is, especially now whenever you have to deal with, like, the rarities. Which is why, again, I think that's why having all the rarities available to you at such a very early level is bad. It's just bad for bag space. It's bad for the morale. It's like, there's such a huge rarity problem in my mind. It goes beyond just the static every 2 hour come back here for another legendary thing. It's so much more than that. Man, people are out running caravans today. Jesus. So there we go. Not bad, not bad. Alright, let me go store this stuff and then we'll head to the map because I might die when we go over there. So let's heroic moonbells. Put those there. Alright, I got rare slate. Oh, wrong one. There we go. And what is this? Iron. Heroic iron. I don't think I have heroic iron or legendary riverdom. Oh, fuck, man. I might have to put these in Halcyon. Yeah. I'll probably just go to Halcyon and put them in there. Oh. So what have you guys been doing in game lately? Are y'all just are y'all still trying to level? Y'all doing professions? Just curious what people are up to in Ashes. I was actually I was gonna reach out to Richie I thought I... Did I not? I thought I sent him an invite. Or, I feel like my friends list constantly, like, I'm missing people. Like, this isn't my complete friends list. I thought I had way more than what this is. Let me see. Fishing. Farming gold, ready for rogue. 27. Mining. Gotcha. Yeah, I've been doing just myself, like when I'm offline, like what I mean by offline, like whenever I'm not streaming but I'm still playing Ashes, I'm just out, like I've been mining a lot too. I'm gonna start working on my tree chopping, because I mean I'm pretty high up here, but I need to get my lumberjacking up here so I can help with weeping willows. Because dude, the amount of times that I've just been out doing treasure maps, or you know, and I just see a weeping willow there and I can't chop it because I'm not high enough. It always saddens me. I'm like, oh, like I should you know, I should get my gathering on my lumberjacking up higher so I can help out there. But I really enjoy like the gathering mentality in Ashes. Like, I think to me, I feel like gathering is very satisfying. It's a very satisfying activity. And I just think, man, if they just had it actually RNG based rarity, oh my God, like this game would be insane. You know, like think of every system that has like the issues and the things that we are like, this is bad. Now imagine those systems fixed and good. Like that's, oh my God, like this game is going to be, you think it's addicting now, bro, we're addicted to a broken game in a sense. Imagine when the game isn't broken. Imagine when the game is actually working as intended, and it's like people are gonna get like ridiculously addicted to this game. All right, let's see if I can make it to this part. When people ask if they should buy it, I always tell them no. I mean, I basically tell them to do their research. I don't want to make anybody's decision for them, but I try to let them know of the state the game is in. Always. Now, do I think the game is worth buying? I do, but it's my anecdotal opinion. You know, should anybody follow my anecdotal opinion? I hope not. I hope anybody would do the research and be like, yeah, I don't agree with Vladis. I think Vladis, you know, is full of cope. I think he, you know, I just don't think people should buy it. And that's fine. Like, I think that's a good opinion to have. I'm not saying mine is the best opinion, but it is my opinion. For a lot of the stuff that I've been testing, I've been enjoying my testing experience. It's not like I've been testing this game and having a miserable experience testing this game. I'm not. Far from it. And I think if you just have the right mindset, you can also enjoy the testing in this game too. But if you don't have the right mindset and you don't want to test a game, you want to play a game, then I would say, well, your answer is kind of no, right? Oh shit. Okay. Let me check Ashes Codex. right, it's supposed to be right there. Sorry, I know I'm cheating. Wow, they really did a good job in hiding the fucking slate again, dude. Jesus. Why? Well, at least the mounds now are very different. At least they're more like fleshed, like they're not this like disc that you can just see like super easily, you know? I really want them to pause on biome additions and flesh out quest and Riverlands and Desert, but not sure how their priorities are going. Like a broken record, I've been saying it all the time in the streams. I need some alternative ways to level. Well, I think you got to look at it in the sense of like, there's multiple teams all set out to do different activities for the game. And I don't think it just works in the sense of, oh, we're going to get all of our teams to work on this thing. Oh my God, by Jova again. Is that Dargol Estates? Oh, fuck. I don't think I've done one over here. Are there mobs over here? I don't know. I don't think so. But this is like right next to Nuela. I've harvested a lot of big bluebells and moonbells here, so I think it's okay. It's basically should be here. Steven said no, stages 4 and 5 will come in P2. Is it still planned or they changed? I don't remember Steven saying 4 and 5. I remember him saying 4. But we'll see. Apparently Vaseline is not coming in phase 2 anymore. So that's probably more now a phase 3 thing. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, stuff can change on a dime. You know, certain things that should have been ready aren't ready. You know. Yeah, well, phase 3 is so loaded. Well, and that's why I always kind of imagined like a phase 4, 5, and 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for the team to, because when phase 3 happens, phase 3 is going to be comprised of 16 biomes, the naval system. Like, it's going to have like everything, like everything else, like the entire game basically. So I don't understand why phase 1 and phase 2 was so small and narrow in comparison to phase 3. And that's why, like, if you remember whenever I was talking about the roadmap back when that when they were talking about it in August, or in September when they launched it, I said, oh, well, there's probably going to be a 4, 5, and 6 down the road, like later. But then Margaret says, no, like phase 3 is the last phase before beta 1. And I'm like, I was like, make that make sense. Like, what? So I don't, like I said, I don't know what they're thinking or what they're, you know, trying to cook when it comes to phase 3, but that's a lot. Yeah, it's like 1% in phase 1, 3% in phase 2, and then like the remaining 97% of the game in phase 3. P3 has to either be forever till launch or phase 4, phase 5. Yeah, I just thought it would be just better for them to isolate certain systems in these kind of phases or whatever. But I mean, they don't really need the phases, but I think it would also make it just better for us too, like the people that are following the game. Because once we get into phase 3 and there's just no more phases, it's just going to be like, oh, well, look forward to the next patch. You know what I mean? Like, and so now if their goal for this year is to have a major patch similar to what we just got today, So in February, they're going to have a major patch that's going to consist of a bunch of different additions, a bunch more flesh out things, changes to classes, the whole 9 yards. And we have a major patch every month. That'll be 12 major patches for this year, right? From now until December. I mean, you could classify like 3 or 4 of those patches to be like a phase, but I don't know. If this is a major patch, we won't see one for 1 to 6 weeks. Potentially. If they move to augments after launch, or P2 will be forever, or are they not? No, augments will be in phase 3. They will 100% be in phase 3. Is that granite or okay? Oh, that's sapphire. Is that iron? No, it's granite. This game will never launch, let's be honest. I think if you understand the scope of Ashes, this game, in my opinion, was always going to be a 10-year development game. In my mind. And if we talk about the game didn't truly start developing in 2021 or, 2022, it could be until 2032, realistically. And that's why I tell people to not burn out. Don't take breaks, do what you got to do. But dude, if you truly understand this game and understand how deep these systems are, there is no way in hell you are going to pump all that content out in a fleshed out, satisfying way that, people are expecting it to be. And if you don't, and you rush it, well, people aren't going to like that either. 10 years from 2022? Yes. We all know that they've been in development till 2017. However, when they started over in UE5, that was in 2022? When they did that change? So the whole UE5 development, I think, is when the game truly started to take form. When shit was really getting fleshed out in a very realistic, gameable way. Like, it wasn't just pen to paper anymore. It's pen to, or it's from the paper now into the game. So how about people who was following for the game in 2018 and Steven was telling people launch before 2020? Well, I mean, that was just Steven's naivete. Like 100%. Like, you understand, Steven's not a game developer. Like, he wasn't a game developer. And you have to understand the entire people that he hired initially and early on aren't there anymore. So you have to ask yourself, why aren't they there anymore? Well, they could have just been a yes man, right? Steven had to learn a lot through the School of Hard Knocks. And when you're out here trying to scope out this game and you have seasoned developers that you're hopefully trusting telling you, oh yeah, we can do this in 3 years. We can totally do this in 3 years. And then Steven's like, oh, okay, cool. Because Steven doesn't know any better. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not a developer. So he's coming out of the sense of, I'm trusting your guys' word that you're telling me the truth. And when that wasn't happening, and when they tried to start doing all the stuff, Steven was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be way more than just a 2 to 3 year endeavor. So yeah, I know there's people that think that that's stupid, or, you know, oh, Steven was dumb or whatever. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, he just had to learn the hard way. And sometimes that's how we have to learn. You know, it's no fault of Steven. He was a freaking multimillionaire that had a dream to make a game. If you want an example on a game that took a decade about with the half-assed systems because they think they can get away with pay to win, then look at Throne of Liberty. Yeah, Throne of Liberty is a good example. But the thing with Throne of Liberty is they had no vision for the game. That game's vision changed several times over. And, you know, if you look at New World, what vision does that game have? You know, what are they doing for New World? They're just trying to do whatever they can to make the game float, right? That's the problem. And at least with Steven, he's been very consistent in his vision, and he hasn't added anything either. Like, that's the thing I really appreciate from Steven as well, is that other game developers, if you truly wanted to scam, right? Like, you would just be tacking on, you know, more and more systems. Oh, we're going to make this game even better, and we're going to start adding this system that you guys never heard about, and we're going to start doing this system and that system, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And like, Steven hasn't done that. The systems and everything, the vision has been very clear from 2017 till now. Osama finally got on, and there's a road speed and highway speed loading the van for them trips, baby. I know, that's why everybody's like really excited about that. I always wonder what Jeffrey Bard told Steven about the thing about timing of the game's development. I mean, and again, like, I mean, no foul to Jeffrey Bard, but it's just one of those things that I think Steven knows the scope of this game. They know, you know, internally probably how long it's going to take to really dig out these systems, you know, and they might have a guesstimate, right? But I think that guesstimate's going to turn into more of, you know, than just an educated guess by the end of this year. I think they're going to have very realistic timeline internally on when this game could potentially release. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about the back and forth of the community to the devs. This system is releasing. What do you guys think about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? If you can change something about it, what would you change? And then do that with every other system. It just takes time. It takes a lot of time. What surprised me for that game was how somehow managed to change their combat to a more acceptable level in a year after the first reveal. Like, if they put that much effort on it, then how the fuck did they not add it effort the last 10 years of Throne of Liberty? Because they probably changed game directors, and again, you need a leader for a vision. They didn't have a leader. As a developer, you need someone to kind of steer you in a direction. Without that, you're kind of doing shit like willy-nilly. Like, am I doing what the people want to do? Because I'm doing what I want to do, but is it good for the game? Is it good for, you know, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, there's a lot of stuff to ask. Here, let's see real quick. Where are you? Oh, funny part, how Vlad is ignoring my last messages about refunds between team players. Oh, and I'm not ignoring. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying to find this treasure. Let me see. What'd you say? If he will refund for people who promised game before 2020 and paid in 2018. I don't think there were people that wanted refunds from there. And if people that do, I'm sure they can probably put in a ticket if they want refunds. I don't think they'll get one personally. It's just one of those things where, look, I paid into this game because I believe in the vision that this game is trying to do. Wait, what? Oh, I was like, I don't even see basalt here. I was like, what the heck? No, they can't refund 100%. Well, that's what I figured. I'm pretty sure they can't. But a lot of the people that I've talked to that purchased stuff back then aren't following the game anymore because they just want the game to come out, so they're not going to worry about their time, or they're playing the game right now. So I don't. Guys, who cares about $500 spent in 2017? It's like a few cents per day. Well, and again, the people who pay $500 also got lifetime subscriptions to Ashes. Like, when this game comes out, you're going to be set. Like, it's going to be a free-to-play game with no pay-to-convenience or pay-to-win microtransactions. That, to me, seems like the holy fucking grail of MMOs in that sense. You got to pay attention to what you're buying. You can't buy something then get a refund 8 years later. Dude, I know there's that one dude that's on YouTube that does those YouTube shorts, and it's like fuck, it was like a Karen. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. No. I don't know if I'll be able to find the dude. He's like a funny guy that comes and does YouTube shorts. Oh, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'd buy that lifetime subscription right now if it was available. Me too, brother. Me too. Okay, so it's supposed to be... Okay. There's like 3 potential treasure map locations here. Oh, God. Let me put it on. Didn't know this one was going to be this hard to find. Yeah, I always use low settings. I know. I don't like that, man. I think it's stupid. I always try to find it without it, but it's like whenever I get frustrated, it's like, all right, fuck it. I'll just turn it on. But I mean, now that they updated the mounds, it may be harder to spot. I know it sucks to not have a release date, especially when you're excited about something. Like, how do you think the GTA community feels with GTA 6? They've felt for a long time like, when the hell is GTA 6 coming out? Now, at least they have a game to play in the meantime. There it is. Game will come after 2030 and 15 years of development, and it'll be super niche. Well, I don't... Is being super niche bad? I mean, I consider Baldur's Gate 3 super niche, at least in my opinion, and it's massively successful. I don't know that many people that play CRPGs. That to me is a very niche, like, a game genre. I think games that have a super mass appeal most of the times don't last. You know, I don't think it will be a first, but all videos of PvP and D&D aspect of it has you always on a new 8-hour personal or group objective that doesn't have anything to do with the story. That's how it works, but it gets better than companies just throwing half-ass shit out. True. Very, very true. All right. Oh, here we go. Somewhere right here. All right, so Samuel's Hope all the way down. I'm just gonna put it to ultra. God, it's just such a 9-day difference. Like going from low to ultra. Whew. Let me see. Why do you think that the game will be released after 2030? I hope it's not going to release after 2030. If you haven't been following me, I've been saying that it could be anywhere between 3 to 4 years of this game releasing. Like, I'm thinking 2028, potentially 2029. But I also said that by the end of this year, 2025, we will have a way better idea just how long this game still has left in the oven. I want to see, we can all say words right now of opinions and, you know, assumptions, but what I want to see is the actions of Intrepid. I want to see what these patches look like, how big they actually are, how meaningful of additional gaming systems they add, and look at it in a sense of a year. Once we can see how quick they are going, we'll have a very, very good idea of just how long this game has left to cook. 2030 is just the punchline everyone used. Well, that's true, but I also can see a world in this game taking longer than 2029, going into 2030, potentially even further than that. My thing is the time that I've invested in this game, the passion that I see from not only the community, from the devs themselves. Why would I want to rush this? Because I'm impatient? Because I spent money? Like, those don't seem like good reasons to me. I think because I've invested my time and because I've invested a good amount of money, I mean, I didn't invest $500, but I invested very much close to it because I spent $375 on my base package along with additional cosmetics that I bought in. So I would probably say, yeah, I have probably invested $500, maybe a little more. So why would I want this project rushed? That makes no sense to me. I want them to take their time, but would I want them to be lazy about it? Would I want them to just start putting out very small patches and making excuses every time? I think if they keep a cadence the way they have been, I mean, dude, we can see some serious content out. But in no way, shape, or form do I want this game rushed. Steven said they pushed they pushed many things for post-launch, so maybe it can save 2 or 3 years of launch time. I haven't heard Steven say that, and he very well could have, but I mean, I'm very close to every time when Steven goes in and does an interview or whatever. Do you remember when Steven said that? Like, do you know which particular interview he said that? Because I don't remember him saying that, but I would love to refresh my memory. And you have to understand, I'm also the person who loses their TV remote like a lot because I forget where I placed it. So I'm not trying to say you're lying. I just, my memory is not as good as it should be, or as it could be. He said in the last stream where he was live on Twitch. Oh, you mean his personal stream? Like his Twitch stream, not the actual Ash's live stream. I'll have to go back and watch that one then. Okay. I'll have to go back and watch that one then. No, it's okay. I know where to find it. Are common weeping willows still used? Like, do people, like, is it worth to still have them? Or do not many people even use weeping willows? I mean, common weeping willows. I'd say all the systems will be in place and maybe some of the biomes and part of the map will be saved for expansion or something. People have said that about potentially like saving the Western continent for for an expansion or whatever, but you have to understand there's going to be 5 starting areas, and a couple of them are actually going to be on the western map. So if you save the western map for later, does that also in turn mean that you can't have those races? Or maybe the starting area of those races will just come later, and you have to choose, you know, potentially 2 starting areas. Because I want to say that, you know, there's going to be, I think, the Riverlands, the Dunskill Mountains, which is where the dwarves are going to be, but then you have the Renkai and the Vek are going to be on the western side. The Tolnar will be in the Underrealm. The Pyre and the elves, those could potentially be on the eastern side. I haven't really like found out where all of the stuff is, so my boys at Suspect are running the vans, those caravans. Yeah, so on my stream, no one can actually send links on my stream, and that's just for trolls that potentially might come in to put out a link and it takes you somewhere terrible or takes me somewhere terrible. I'd rather just have people message me on Discord than send them to, you know, potentially like on the stream itself. So yeah, but there's a lot of stuff still cooking for phase 3, and I'm not in really any rush. Like I said, GTA 6 has been in development for a long time, and those people have a very clear vision on what they want for their game. GTA 5 was a massive endeavor for them. GTA 6 is quite possibly even a bigger endeavor than 5 was. You know, I think as a gamer, does the GTA community want GTA 6 now? Of course they do. Do they want a shit version of GTA 6? No. Absolutely not. So I think that's, you know, that's the kind of questions you got to start asking, right? Is like, do you want the game? Yes. Do you want the game to be good? Yes. Well, you can have the game now, but it's going to be bad. Well, then I'd rather wait. And what happens when game releases? People get excited, but then that, as I meant, turns into frustration and even anger because they start to realize the game they're looking forward to isn't done because the systems aren't fleshed out. The systems suck. They're rudimentary. They're basic. They're not fun to use. They're not fun to play with. You know, just a smorgasbord of different reasons as to why players will get frustrated. And then you'll just see the same people that were advocating to have the game now are saying, man, guys, you should have waited. Why did you release it so soon? You know? So I would rather make players upset in saying, hey, the game's not ready. Because I can guarantee you when the game is ready, and it's ready in the way that players have dreamed it being ready, it's going to retain so much more players because you actually cooked. Think of what Path of Exile 2 is doing right now. Path of Exile 2 released its early access a year early. The game is supposed to launch sometime at the end of this year. So they're giving themselves a year to find out all the bugs, find the things out about the game that aren't fun, that the majority of the community doesn't like. And believe me, there's been a lot of very critical videos on Path of Exile 2. And they're still pumping out more content. They're going to pump out more classes and everything like that. And they're trying to get their game in the best possible state when it launches, right? So more companies need to do that, but they don't. So Oh, it was Steven talked about post-launch. Oh, okay. GGG is a great company. I mean, they listen to their community. And believe me, GGG, I mean, they're not infallible. They make mistakes too. What company doesn't? But all I'm saying is I want the game to be good. I don't want the game to be shit. It's just funny to me that a lot of people come in and they want to troll on Intrepid or get upset at Intrepid for the game not being ready or the game. Do you see how much more fleshed in it is? Like the mounds are actually like more. Oh, wow. You actually see the treasure chest. Do you see that, chat? These look way better. I like it. Anyone know what the Phoenix symbol on Lionhold is? That's the Ember Spring. That's the new Ember Spring. Thank you. It's slate, but I mean, I'll take it. I mean, slate is kind of useless right now, but Narc enjoying the desert off stream right now. LMAO. What is Narc playing? Yeah, I mean, he can do what he wants, man. He wants to play the game, not play the game. I mean, all right. Did I pop that map? Okay. Oh, I gotta pay my dues. Okay. Let's abandon. Way back in Uela. Right here. Wow, that's like my my spot. Honestly, dude, I really don't even follow Narc. I don't really care. I don't care what he does. If he wants to play the game, not play the game, make content, not make content, go make Path of Exile content, or, you know, whatever content. I mean, he can do what he wants. I don't really put in any energy into content creators that I don't follow. So I don't pay him no mind. Me either, just to be honest, just curious. Yeah, I don't blame you. I really, if I did have any respect for him, I just don't after what he did with this last video, like at all. Like, as especially for someone who is really excited about this game, the fact that he really wanted to tear down and really, you know, manipulate people and give that this game and the developers like a very bad rap, just, you know, it really pissed me off. So, like, it's fine to have your opinions. Like, it's fine to think that the desert should have been more finished or whatever. But the way he just purposefully lied in his video, like, I'm sorry, I can't deal with that kind of a dude. I'll look at it. I'll look at the stream, and I'll do it on my off time though, but to see like what Steven was talking about. I mean, let me be clear. I don't mind if Steven pushes certain systems off to a post-launch state. Like the stock exchange is a good example. Like that to me doesn't need to be in the game at launch. But something like the naval system does, right? There's also just a lot of, of ancillary systems too. Like, do we technically need a guild talent tree? No, not really. Just allow people to lagging on levels, that is. No, I am definitely behind. I should be a little bit higher than 17 right now, but I have not, like I said, focused on that stuff. So but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of systems though that they could potentially push off, and I'll be fine with that. But I think there's just every major system, and there's a lot of them that coincide with the node system. And I think you do need a lot of the node system stuff to actually be in a state that, is out, right? You can't just push off, mandates or policies or, freeholds, like all that stuff. Like there's just so much of it that needs to be like out. The way that guild talent tree, oh shit, I fell in this thing again. I fell in it last time because I wasn't paying attention. Well, and I already did my whole rant on the guild talent tree, but I do agree that it needs to provide something meaningful for the lower end of guild membership, right? Like the 50-man guilds, the 100-man guilds. I mean, numbers at the end of the day is a very powerful thing, and when you have these very small guilds, when you have a war deck happening and you have a guild that is like a 300-person guild war decking a 50-man guild, would you consider that fair? I wouldn't at all. That's 300 people. Like we were all complaining right now on how the TTK is insanely high, right? Or is it high or low? Like basically it takes no time to kill someone. Like it's like what, 3 to 5 seconds? And you add then a group, you take 7 players hitting one person, that player's just dead. They just stand no chance. So I'm curious how damage is going to end up being in that regard, because you would also, if people want longer TTK, then you kind of need shittier PvP heals. And I don't know if that's going to feel good to a cleric, where they feel like their main function is not working as intended. Now, if you don't limit their heals, then you got to be able to nerf their mana or buff the mana consumption of spells, right? So they can still heal really well, but they'll eat through their mana like more so. And I don't know if that's going to feel good too, because now you're actually nerfing them not just in PvP content, but in PvE content. So I don't know what the play is for TTK in general, but if you look at it in the sense of a dampening, I truly think a dampening and a healing dampening could work. And I know Zyback has said that many times, especially in his videos, and I do agree with him. I think a 50% dampening for damage and potentially like a 25% dampening for healing in PvP combatant status, I think is the real issue. So the issue is how easy it is to stack penetration. I have 30% pen, and I'm only 5th or so most geared in the ranger in the guild. Well, that's what I mean, right? Like, if you're truly trying to look at this game in a group-based way, then you really got to start paying more attention to the individual talent trees of players. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to tell you guys, because I don't think I've mentioned this yet, I am not going to be playing this entire weekend. I won't be back until probably Monday, because I'm actually heading to my hometown to go visit my family and to go visit some friends. So I won't be online tomorrow. I won't be online on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, I probably, because I will be back Sunday, but I don't know if I'll stream Sunday night. So I might play Sunday night, but I won't stream. I do have a 1v1 planned this next coming week. I haven't got confirmation yet if that person's gonna be able to make it. So I'm still kind of waiting for him to kind of tell me, like, are you gonna come, not gonna come, like, what's going on. But I might try to have a backup, like, just in case. So we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys, since we've already been streaming now for about 3 hours, and the people that are here are probably the people that are going to watch me, you know, this weekend too, if I was streaming. Ooh. Man, this major patch brought in a lot of audio bugs. Well, it might be kind of good that I'm not going to play this weekend, because I'm sure they have a lot of shit to hammer out from this major patch. And now that the major patch is out, they'll be able to get all the feedback of, like, what bugs are still present, what things people are still facing. So it might be good to take a break this weekend anyway. But I'm actually really excited about this weekend, because my buddy bought a go-kart for his daughter. So my stepdaughter and I are gonna go over and ride go-karts. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that, to be honest. There is an exploit checkbox on the bug report now. Oh yeah, that's been there, actually. They made that available the last patch, like last week's patch. But yeah. On Lynette, the Winstead server worker bricked my main and other people's characters. We got stuck in an infinite loading screen loop. Fuck. That sucks. I mean, that's kind of the thing that happens when major patches release, right? Like, they start finding, like, again, you add and change a lot of shit, stuff's gonna break. You know, it's just it's growing pains too for Intrepid, right? Like, maybe growing pains isn't the correct word, but It's learning experiences. Ooh, some weird stone. Is it weird or word? Word stone? Some word? Luckily my alt works, so I've been playing on her. It's been fun. Nice. I'm glad. I know people, you know, it's really frustrating whenever you want to play a game and you want to play the main character that you're grinding up to do and stuff like that, and stuff like that happens, you know, but it is a test, you know, like stuff happens, stuff gets bricked, and you know, ruins the experience, so to speak. But just know that we're here, we're all testing to make the game better, and you know, I think the game has taken many strides in getting better. From what I heard from the people that actually participated in the node siege, it was very positive. There was a lot of people that were thinking the node siege was going to be a disaster, and it was not bad. People really enjoyed the node siege, so that spells good news. My alt storage got deleted from a bug the day before servers went down too. Shoot. Well, that's no bueno. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of storage stuff, like a lot of storage issues. I got to participate. It was pretty fun. Needs some balancing work, but yeah, that's what people said, and I don't think that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, I expected that. I expected people were saying that defenders have like a really big advantage compared to attackers. So I don't. Oh, nice. Oh, is that it? All right, come on. It was right by my freaking mount. All right, come on. Emeralds, common emeralds, 43 common emeralds. Ooh, 6 glowing glints. Wow. Oh God. Oh wow. That's a big circle right there. Holy shit. Well, let me go to New Ayla real quick. I think I have some stuff in New Ayla that is like rare to heroic stuff. Say hold on. Say hi to yeah, apparently a suspect is doing a caravan, and I think they had some skirmishes they were doing out. But I'm just grateful that the node tests weren't a complete disaster, because I know there was a lot of people that were before the test were just kind of worried. They're like, oh my god, I hope this isn't going to be bad. But it was like 100 versus 100. So we'll see. My thing is I really want them to add dynamic gridding in. I don't know how far away they are from that, but apparently from what Steven says is that's not going to potentially be in phase 2. I hope it still is personally, but I mean, dynamic gridding, the way they're trying to do it is in a way that I don't think any MMORPG has done. So it's definitely gonna be one of those things that's oh, that one. There we go. Heroic. I'm just gonna sell these. I mean, should I? I mean, I'll take them. Where's this? Common charms. Stripes uses charm to craft materials. I'll keep those. Okay, so now... Oh, I gotta sell that stuff. Oh, Halcyon. Oh. I gotta put that stuff in. Hey, how's it going? How's the patch been? It's, I mean, audio issues for me. But I did about 8 treasure maps. I'm now gonna do my heroic treasure map, and it's been okay. Abilities have been a little wonky. I was trying to push down my scatter shot and it wasn't doing it, so all right. But other than that, I mean, it's been fine. You know, I haven't been to the desert yet. I still probably need to be a little bit higher, like at least like level 20 going into the desert. Apparently, I mean, there's content there that like lower levels can do 100%. All right, let's go do this map. Go ahead and Trevor. They finally started to get the ash trees near nodes out of the ground. Oh, really? I haven't... They said that they actually worked on the surrounding node areas to make them a little cleaner. I should have paid attention to that in Winstead. Oh, that's a copper node in the middle of nowhere. I'll take it. It could be 2 epic coppers. I need epic and rare. Oh, heroic. I'll take it. I'll take it. I've been trying to log in, but the game crashes immediately. Yeah, there have been people that have been experiencing that. I would say to repair your launcher client. If you've already done that, then I would message Roshan or Vacnar and see what steps you can do for your game not to do that, basically. Mirror's looking nice. All the trees are above ground. Doesn't look like a bunch of tumbleweeds in the ground anymore. Nice. I really do gotta check out Marileth, because or Winstead was looking very the trees were just all messed up, basically. Is that granite? Okay. How are these still hovering? I put in so many reports about this one and this one. See how they're hovering? And they're still hovering. I really thought those were fixed. What's that copper worth? 2 heroic copper? Oh man, it's worth... I can probably sell them in the auction house for like a gold each if I wanted to. But yeah, with all my treasure map stuff, like I still need zinc and copper, but I need it at like the rare and higher level, because I got way too much common and uncommon. But yeah, these treasure maps that I did today weren't that great, to be honest. Wasn't that good of a haul. I think last week was way better. I did manage to nag a lot of rare slate, but I think slate right now just in general is kind of a, like, it's not really like a high priority thing, you know. How'd you get that really cool mount? I got this mount, and also thank you for the follow, Sir Terry Zing. I was doing treasure maps like the way I am right now, and I came across some ducks, and they were the wishing ducks, and Steven came out of nowhere and granted me a wish, and I wished for this mount, which is the Graveyard Golem, and he granted my wish, and it was really cool. If you want to watch a video I have on my YouTube channel, if you go onto my videos tab, you'll see it. Like, I think I named the video like Steven granted me one wish in Ashes of Creation. It's like a 10-minute video. It's not that long, but it was a very cool experience. It was probably one of the coolest experiences I had in an MMO. Oh, that was granite. Mount combat with the golem would be epic, dude. If you can have the ground slam that it does, like because the graveyard golem does like a slam on the ground, if that could be in an action ability, oh my god, that would be really epic. That would be really OP, but really epic. I'm really curious what mount combat's going to end up looking like for like PvP and PvE, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool. Sorry, I was just messaging some people and okay, just uncommon. Oh man. It's kind of crazy how addicting I've gotten to gathering in this game. Like, I really like traversing the land for like maps and for gatherables. I think it's just really satisfying to do. I just can't wait till like we have less people in a biome because people are just diversified into other biomes. That's really gonna feel good. Like, holy shit. Oh no, I just can't wait for more biomes in general. Now that the desert biome is more fleshed out, I hope more people just kind of stay over there. But I don't know if they will, to be honest. I really don't know if they will. For real, who needs fast travel with this road speed? Well, I don't know if I noticed a difference, but I mean, oh shit, I put it on myself and not my mount, like an idiot. Oh, I've been so tired. I need to get better sleep. Did the map improve at all? I feel like it did for the PTR, but I feel like it, because it didn't pixelate in the PTR. It actually stayed like this, but it was like this, just more zoomed out. Oh, I was like, is that a bear? But it's like, now it's like reverting back to this, so I don't know. I think because I'm an NA citizen, I get highway speed. Maybe it's 10% more movement speed. Well, I mean, that's good. Diver, thank you so much for the follow, man. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the stream, dude. We just out here big chilling, you know, doing some treasure maps and traversing the world and talking about the game and talking about a whole bunch of stuff. But oh man, sorry for yawning. Okay, I'm gonna have to head over here. All right. So let's zoom it in a little bit. All right, this one might be a bit. I was about to say this might be a bitch, and then I find it within like 3 seconds. Cool. Oh, a heroic small gold pouch. Oh my god. I'll take it. I don't think I need 10, but I'll take that. I'll take that gold pouch. Wow. Look at these potions. Last 15 seconds. Physical power rating, magical power rating, magic resistance, armor. Whoa. What mount is that? I haven't been able to log in for a couple of weeks. This is the graveyard. Wow, what's going on with nighttime? It's the graveyard golem mount. I got it because of Steven. Oh, that Aurora Borealis coming out. Oh, there it goes. Two minutes remaining until daytime. Oh, it's dawn. I was like, why is it getting so dark? That was crazy. All right. So those are all... uncommon, rare mana potion. I really got to clean out my freaking items inventory and my storage. It's so bad. Should be heading to daytime now. Shit. There we go. Ancient and Wicked. Let me actually pay attention to the trees. Because all these trees were all messed up. They were all like in the ground. Yeah, they're still on the ground. At least here in Winstead. Yeah. They're probably taking it a note at a time. They're probably just going in and... Because at least here in Marilith may be done, but here it still looks like... like bushes, basically. Vlad the Chad. What's going on? What's going on, dude? Let me see. It's so crazy. I actually bought an uncommon faded map for 28 silver. I bought 2 of them for 28 silver. And that's because a common faded map goes for a gold usually. But I'm telling you, man, some people just they don't put them up in the auction house. All right, I'm gonna keep those. Let's go here. I think this one. Maybe this one. There we go. There we go. See, zinc, I don't have any rare zinc. Oh, I do. Switch these. Yeah, I use a lot of rare because of the freaking processing. All right, so that's good. There we go. Let's see if I can process these whipping willows. Oh, look, the desert ones. I guess I can't process the weeping willows on this one. Have I done my last treasure yet? I did. I did them all. I have 2 rare excavation kits, but I need more faded maps. I had a person from stream say that they were going to give me 2 faded maps, 2 uncommon faded maps, but that person hasn't reached out to me, so. But it's cool. See, 80, wow, Jesus Christ. See, Weeping Willow uncommon for 16 silver. Yeah. I like how they actually put a little grid here to kind of show how big it is, and it's really cool. Is story shared between characters? No, it is not. Every patch my tune looks better and better. This Growler helmet looked booty 3 weeks ago. Now I don't want to take it off. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what happens when you let them cook. You let them do what they got to do. It's only going to keep getting better. I set this like in phase 1. I remember doing like a screenshot. I kind of like did something like this, and it was like I think a really pretty picture of the game. And I said, guys, this is the shittiest you're ever going to see this game look right now, because it's only going to get better from here. And that's going to be true in, you know, like every time. Like right now, this is the shittiest you'll ever see Ashes. It's only going to get better from here. So these towns are going to get better. They're going to get more individualistic when more layouts are available. Like it's going to get interesting. So trying to figure out what I needed to do. Oh yeah. I'm gonna make these Weeping Willow into timber. Wait, what? I gotta be an apprentice to do this? Well, shit. I guess it's okay. I'll just try to stuff them somewhere in my... Or maybe I can sell them. Like, what does Weeping Willow go for? $9 silver? 11 silver. $14 silver. $11 silver. All right, let me see. There we go. I can process them if you want. I'm a master miller. It's fine. I'm just gonna sell them, I was just gonna sell them. It doesn't really. I don't think it really mattered. I wasn't gonna use them for anything. But all right, guys. Well, I am going to end stream. Again, want to thank you guys for stopping by, watching, and everything like that. Again, I will not be here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you probably won't see me stream until next week. Have a great time playing this weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Remember to take breaks. Remember to not take the game so seriously. Please leave your bug reports and feedback. Do all the things, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you all so much for showing up.